You are listening to Party Nerds Weekly.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to the Party Nerds Podcast. I am your host, James Grandmaster Pack's voice. Our illustrious panel today, and as you can tell by Ralphie's shirt, no, stop waving to the crowd. All right, as you can tell by Ralphie's shirt, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man because there seems to be a lot of the implications here. Because this whole segment, of course, we put Spider-Man 4 villain revealed, but we put a question mark and an exclamation point on there because there's so much mystery around this. Now, there's certain things that have gone into this, mainly the fact that there's this turmoil that is centering around this whole thing, and it's starting to cause friction. Is the Sony MCU merger all over again, where they pretty much went into this whole battle over Spider-Man in the beginning. Of course, MCU has the rights for Spider-Man and pays a hefty sum for them to utilize Spider-Man as a lead character. He can do Avengers movies. He can do his solo comics. But on the opposite end, in the Sonyverse, you have all these villains who are building up storylines. Some of them are okay if you want to talk about Venom, but some of them are god fucking awful. And the thing is, we're almost at the point, because MCU has a lineup of villains that are like almost in the waiting to add to the mix. And in the Sonyverse has their own set of villains. So it's causing a lot of confusion. Now, Ralphie, watching all these movies and seeing exactly the toll of the villains that they've had, the last movie that they had is going to be hard to top, because they basically brought in all the nostalgia-based creme de la creme villains that Spider-Man ever had. Matter of fact, not only his villains, Tobey Maguire's villains, Andrew Garfield's villains. So it's almost, we're at the point now where it's like, you better do this shit good. Because if we're going back to square one, it's almost like Spider-Man had his own endgame situation with all his villains. And then now, because everything's reset, him and MJ don't know each other no more. Ned don't know that motherfucker from a can of paint. And we're starting back from Adam.
So
it's sad. It's a sad situation. Go ahead.
It's basically, you got to take it like this, right? So yeah, it's kind of like, here we go with a nice little fresh slate, and it's back to these divorced parents having an argument over who gets to hold the child. But then you have the one divorced parent that's like, who's paying child support? Because that's what it's basically looking like. It's like, it's like a bad marriage that continues to just keep going downward spiral. And now it leads us into, like I said, we're at this point where, you know, where do we kind of go with it? Will basically Disney allow Sony to either flourish, or do we once again allow Sony to crash and burn? Because that's what we always seem to get. It's a crash,
which I don't think will happen though.
That's what always happens at the end.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, but the thing is, the Sonyverse came up with the biggest pimp move that was ever imaginable against Marvel, and it worked. But the thing is,
before you say anything, I want to just guess it really quick. Was it Jamie Foxx getting a haircut and bringing back Max with swag?
No, that was not the pimp move. Jesus Christ.
That wasn't?
No.
I could have. You comes back in another dimension
with
swag.
No, the fact that they withheld Spider-Man for a hefty sum. Everybody sold. Oh, here it comes.
Oh God!
From the edges
and
of
purple
darkness.
Lighting too. Like, let's
purple rain. Purple rain.
Word. Light skin music.
The beiges enter the building.
What?
Oh man, this is
beige.
All right. Haas has finally entered the chat. He just has to get his camera aligned, and he'll be with us shortly.
What's up?
What's happening?
What's up?
So the biggest thing that we were talking about was the fact that the Sonyverse has caused the biggest pimp move ever imaginable in the withholding of Spider-Man, and now the MCU pretty much has has the rights to his lead properties, has the rights to him joining the Avengers and doing those team ups. But also in the end, it's almost like the withholding of the character as a whole and even his own rogue gallery has caused a little bit of dilemma. Do you think so, Haas?
But so wait, say that one more time. What's causing the dilemma? That Sony's withholding like villains.
Sony's withholding him to shine because basically they've started their own rogue gallery.
Yeah,
MCU has their rogue gallery.
So Sony. Only thing for Sony, this is the problem. Sony is just a cash grab completely. Like they don't care about anything. They don't care about quality. That's why I said before that they want to do
only in the video games, my friend.
They only want to do another multiverse movie so they could possibly make $2 billion. Like they don't care. They don't care that it's redundant. They don't care that it really doesn't give fans an opportunity to see the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that is so important to the foundation of the character. So Sony just wants to do their own thing only for cash grabs though, because if they cared about the long term and as far as sustaining quality movies, they wouldn't be doing anything like that. They'll just be working with Kevin Feige and Marvel and just, all right, what's the next story? What we're going to hit? Because they want to do a grounded version of Spider-Man where he's just in New York. He doesn't even leave New York. He's just going to be in New York, going after Kingpin and running into Daredevil, and they're gonna do something way more grounded than his previous two movies were. Right.
Do you think that that's the best idea going forward?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's the best idea, Kingpin, Daredevil?
Yeah, because first of all, everybody wants to see Spider-Man goes. And I mean, if you're a Spidey fan, like you want to see Spider-Man go up against Kingpin, especially Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin. Like, we'd definitely love to see that. So, me personally, I don't care to see another multiversal Spider-Man movie. Like, we just got that. Like, so why are we going to do that again? So the cash grab aspect and what would happen if Sony were actually going to do that? Like, I would think it would be like a bad reaction from like fans. Yeah, they're going to make money regardless, but it's not. I'm more into the quality movies, and I think the storyline of Kingpin becoming the mayor of New York City and disowning and trying to get rid of vigilantes is a way more interesting story than more multiverse characters. Like, let's establish some of these Spider-Man villains that's actually in the main MCU universe, right? And there's plenty to go off of. Like I said, we already saw a glimpse of the Scorpion in Homecoming. So he could easily be hired by, say, Kingpin.
Easily insert himself.
Yeah, and get involved with Spider-Man. Like, since he's going to disown vigilantes and Spider-Man ultimately put him in jail, Kingpin can get him out of jail, right? Get him a pardon.
If he's the mayor, you can give him a pardon.
And then bang, now he's going to hire him to take down Spider-Man, since he got him out of jail. Like,
that's
the thoughts.
That's a good setup.
Those are the thoughts. Yeah, that's stuff that comes out. That's comic book writing. So they gotta Sony needs to chill. Like, they should be thanking Marvel for them making having a $2 billion or $1.9 billion movie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then for the movie before that they did, that we finally got Spider-Man over $1 billion. They should be thanking Kevin Feige. But this is when it gets too corporate, and we've seen that with DC. Like, Warner Brothers always wanted to put their foot in and screw up these movies that could have been great. So I think where we at.
I feel like the fact that they built that rogue gallery and that they made a bunch of money off of Spider-Man as a whole, they feel like, okay, take a 50-50 share out of one of these villains. If you want Venom to be in one of these Spider-Man flicks, you're gonna have to pay for him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like I remember, what was it? Was it the end of Venom 2 where they did that multiversal shift at the end? And it was like, oh, okay, now Venom is in Tom Holland's universe, and he's on the radar because literally he showed up on the TV screen. So the setup on the Sony side is that Venom is at some point in time supposed to basically lock horns with Spider-Man. But yet on the MCU side, it's like, okay, we've now reintroduced street level New York. So Daredevil's here, you know, Kingpin's here, Scorpion's still in the mix. The Ned issue is also a thing now. So that old theory from 3 years ago, and we'll probably talk about it.
Him becoming the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, because that was always like this big theory, and it was like it would work if they actually like put some detail behind it. Don't just make it just happen just like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I realize that now with this multiversal shift that happened on the MCU side after No Way Home, that could actually be at play because Ned at that moment doesn't know Peter.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the easiest way to do it. He doesn't know him. His life trajectory is now on a different path, so now he can become the Hobgoblin,
right?
With Doctor Strange powers apparently.
Yeah. But there's also this other big if that is out there is that Tom Holland's Peter Parker has not met his Green Goblin as opposed to Toby meeting his.
I don't think he needs one.
You don't think he needs it?
Nah,
even though that's your arch nemesis.
Yeah, but let's look at it this way. Like, do we really want another Green Goblin after what Willem Dafoe just did in No Way Home?
Well, hey, bro.
Let's be real. Like, do we even need another Green Goblin?
No,
we don't.
No, and look, you might be right. But also in that aspect, we talked about it earlier before you got on.
Okay.
Did Spider-Man do so much that we're now back to square one? Is Spider-Man going to be okay even though he just had like this Endgame type movie?
Yeah, he's fighting off cosmic beings and shit, so he's going back to street level? Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, you gotta go back to street because you're gonna lose the essence of the character. You gotta do some New York shit.
Yeah,
you gotta get up in them streets.
He's fighting these street level guys, you'll destroy them because he's got so much experience fighting these space beings and shit, you know?
I think it might be another way.
He's back in these streets.
I think it might be another way to kind of introduce maybe like Miles as well too. Like think about it, right?
It could be a passing of the torch thing.
We could have something where it could even lead into that. Maybe they have some type of interaction, but like, you know, for Sony, I get the whole cash grab, but I also feel as if, all right, yeah, you've had that plateau already, and again, now you have kind of like a full slate. Granted, you might want this, but how can you still go about it in a way that the fans will still be engaged, right? Like villain-wise, let's not overload them. Granted that we know that, but let's not overload them. Let's kind of do the whole Scorpion thing, and again, Kingpin. You don't have to do like maybe like this overload of just villains to just get people into the theaters, because that's what it kind of seems to always happen with these Sony films. Like you had Carnage, for instance, and it was just like, you know, we knew that we wanted to see it, but it just.
Let me tell you something. Carnage does not work if Spider-Man's not in the motherfucking movie. It just never was going to work. You can't just have Venom. It's hard enough just to have Venom by himself. Like, he shouldn't even be by himself. But to put Venom and Carnage in the same movie and not have Spider-Man doesn't work. And that's why them shits was never good.
So if that's the case, if that's like that argument, why is it such a bad idea for Venom not to join the MCU?
It's not a bad idea, but they already set a precedent after No Way Home that the symbiote, the piece of the symbiote, which is actually now its own symbiote, is in the universe and eventually will make its way to Peter Parker by the time we get to Secret Wars. So
instead we'll be getting symbiote Spider-Man rather than just Venom.
Yeah, Kevin Feige is probably on board. It seems like he's just on that path where we're going to get a comic accurate Spider-Man in Secret Wars, where he dons the black suit, which is the symbiote suit. So he's gonna use that storyline. So we don't need to get to Venom and Spider-Man right now. Now, if I'm Sony, this is what I would do if I was Sony. I have multiple Spider-Men at my disposal. So you have Toby and you have Andrew, right? Which I would say Andrew.
If
I would say Andrew. You use Andrew to do your little Venom versus Spider-Man, Venom, Spider-Man versus other what's his name? Craven and Morbius and and different villains. Like, you have Spider-Man at your disposal. Like, stop trying to capitalize off of Tom Holland. Leave Tom Holland in the motherfucking MCU where he's been thriving.
But that sounds like an Elseworlds thing.
Let it be elsewhere.
That sounds like how it sounds like how DC does their Elseworlds thing. That's how that would look.
Like, they're in a different. All these characters are not in the main MCU anyway. So that's where they can cap, or they can go right and get as soon as they get done the Spider-Verse trilogy with the animated Spider-Verse trilogy, you can pull the live action Miles Morales. And he can own that.
If he could definitely hold down a live action Miles Morales against that squadron. I mean, I don't want to see it because the villains that he has to go up with would be whack.
You can use Toby, who's older. You can use Toby to mentor him.
He could be Peter B. Parker.
The Peter B. Parker type.
I like that.
Parker.
Yeah, and he can mentor Miles Morales, right? So then it's a nice little he and Toby. What we found out in No Way Home is that Toby and Mary Jane made it work after all the bullshit, all the grimy shit they were doing to each other. It worked.
It worked.
So he can go and retire and be with his family, and Miles can take over in his universe, but I'm not in the future, just in the present. Because Toby's older, right? So you could do that. And then on top of that, you can still, Andrew Garfield still looks young enough where he can still be out there as Spider-Man. Like, they have different options. They're really just trying to be like, oh, all right, let's take Tom Holland and put him in our universe and our universes that we have. And it just doesn't make sense, because every time they try to come up with this idea of we want Tom Holland to be the Spider-Man that's going up against Craven and all that. It just doesn't make sense. Like, when you gonna keep pulling them from the main MCU just to do that, it doesn't make sense. Or if they were smart, you understand it's a multiverse. You can get a different version of Tom Holland. Fine, it has nothing to do with the MCU. That's fine, because you can do that because it's the multiverse.
Right.
But they're literally just trying to drag Tom Holland out the MCU for a few movies, and you can't do that. You fuck up the story. You can't be fucking up the story. Like, so I think that's the problem, and that's where the tug of war is, because Kevin Feige's like, yo, why would we do another multiverse movie? Like, I already know how this is gonna go. Like, it's like No Way Home. Then we had Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and it got redundant. Having multiversal stories like that, like two huge multiverses. One was good, really good. One could have been better. Like, so, but to have them back to back like that, where there was anticipation for that Doctor Strange movie, it turned out to be not what everybody thought it was. Like, they hyped it up too much, and that's what's going to happen if they do another multiversal Tom Holland Spider-Man movie in the MCU, because it's just going to get too repetitive. Like, oh no, here comes Toby and Andrew Garfield again. Like, we just had that. So you can't have them popping up, and every time there's a movie, they're just going to keep popping up and seeing each other. Like, you got to give it time. You got to allow.
They can be in their own movies?
They can do their own movies.
That's what he was saying. He was saying basically have them intersect and be the Peter Parker in the Sony universe.
Yeah, they should do their own movies, and they can do that. Stop doing these villain movies and use the Spider-Man.
I don't even think that Toby and them want to do them fucking movies. So, all right, put that up real quick. Can you put that up, Jorge?
Yeah.
I think they're up to it.
The solution is simple. Sony gives Marvel Holland Spider-Man. Sony uses Garfield for their Sonyverse.
Talk that
then
talk.
use Toby for the universe where they introduce Miles. That's
Hello.
basically what you said.
There you go.
Hello.
Go ahead,
Just
Dave.
keep
Hello,
them separate
Dave.
like the comics.
Hello,
Hey,
Dave.
Dave.
There you
Get a
go.
fist pump, dog. Fist
All right,
pump.
so Dave, you and Haas seem to be on the same wavelength with that one. Put up Ace's comment up because that came up earlier. Sony's one lucky son of a bitch holding on to Spidey like an overprotective mother. That's absolutely. That's absolutely what they've been doing.
Their hold is
it feels like
a game of Uno.
Yeah, you're just not going to get the cards that you're dealt. You got to shell out some more cash in order to get another villain here and there. So I have 8 villains, and we've talked about most of them. Which one makes the more amount of sense based on storyline? Is it Kingpin, Scorpion, maybe in a supporting role, Venom, Hobgoblin, Kraven, Morbius, Vulture, and even Black Cat just to fuck up shit with MJ?
Oh, you missed one. You missed one.
Who I missed?
Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer to tie up the Iron Man.
Stop, man. We're not getting that dancing machine back in the MCU.
Hey,
even though I like him. I like him, but not like that.
That's my boy.
But
if
we're talking about if we're talking about like basically the reintroduction of Kingpin and how that's now taken as far as a tent pole in the new MCU, as far as like street level MCU and bringing that back, that makes a lot of sense. Doing a supporting role where Scorpion is involved, that makes a lot of sense as well. I feel like that if Kingpin and Scorpion are together, and that's like a perfect sector of just the MCU where Holland's fighting that. And note, I had to look at it on my phone, but Tom Holland just said, I got a big announcement tomorrow. So the one thing about Phase 5 and going on was that there was no announcement of anything Spider-Man related whatsoever, because generally when they do all this Hall H shit, they don't include anything because of the Sony thing. They don't include Spider-Man news in there or anything like that. So Sony is usually the one that's basically telling him to put it out first, even though that's Feige's thing. But it's like Sony and Marvel have to put out a joint statement, and then they usually put it out there. That's why I told what's his name? Tom Holland got in trouble that one time where he put up the fucking poster for a second and he snitched on himself and he pulled it away because he put up Infinity Wars and everything like that. Everything has to run through Sony with Spider-Man. You can't just put shit up, So he's always being withheld. But I looked it up, I guess, on the social media. He has a big announcement tomorrow. I don't know if that's anything comic book related, but it might even be something that he's just doing off on the whim. What'd you say?
It's going to be Uncharted 2. Get excited.
Oh, please, God, no. We're not, no, Nathan Drake. We're not doing that shit no more.
Mark Wahlberg is back.
I mean, if we're looking at it from that whole landscape and how they can get it done, it's square one. It's square one. No Way Home registered how much? What, almost $2 billion?
$1.9 billion.
$1.9 billion. It was a Spider-Man Endgame film. Yep. And to get back to square one, because now you're just releasing Spider-Man back into the wild of New York City. And the good thing about the Tom Holland Spider-Mans is that we got to see him just basically like growing up. So the one thing we've never seen in a lot of these movies, we've never seen a grown type of like, what I'm saying? Like he's going to college. Now he got his own apartment and everything. Now he's living on his own. I don't even know if Zendaya going to be in the new movies. I don't even know if they're going to be in the new movies.
No, she's definitely
what I'm saying?
She's definitely in.
You think so? Because this is a way, this is a way to get MJ out and bring Gwen in.
Yeah, I
think about Gwen Stacy.
I mean, I think they're gonna do Zendaya. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But do you think that it makes more sense for MJ to just be this pivotal female character in the Spider-Man films, rather than Gwen Stacy becoming like basically the forefront of doing Spider-Gwen.
We got Gwen in the Miles Morales universe. We got Gwen in
Garfield.
Well, we had Gwen in
We had Gwen with Garfield, and she got a neck snap.
So I mean, we can get a Gwen. She can be the new girlfriend until Zendaya gets her memory and like, oh shit, I used to love him. Like we can do that and have a little love triangle. Like
right, that'd be good.
Like,
all right, Spider-Man 4. If they want Spider-Man 4 to be, what is it? Spider-Man 4 to be grounded. Kingpin makes sense, and bring in Black Cat for his new love interest. You know what? Your avatar with the wings is selling me, so I'm all ready for that, Dave.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So for the panel here, who saw? I mean, I don't play video games, but I've been looking at all these gameplays. The Spider-Man 2 that was on the PS5. The fucking storyline was off the chain.
I 100% completed it.
You completed it? I didn't.
100%.
So like Craven taking out the entire Sinister Six, trying to take out the entire Sinister Six, or better yet, that he does, only to get confronted with Venom, and then Venom has to take on Spidey. Like that storyline is sick.
Yeah, I seen the storyline on YouTube because my kids watch it all the damn time. So I've seen it and it's pretty dope. Like it's these Spider-Man games.
That makes sense though.
They have so much good story. Like so much. Like each game, all three of them, they're just great stories.
Yeah, but think about that storyline.
Oh,
Andre,
great.
What's up, man?
Absolutely brilliant.
No, that storyline, like literally, if you're looking at it from that context,
what's up, Dre?
Say you got Andre. So if you're thinking about that storyline, if they wanted to recreate that, Venom jumps into the Marvel universe as well as Craven, and the Sinister Six already pretty much inhabit the MCU. Craven starts taking out Sinister Six characters, then gets confronted with Venom. Venom murks him, and then Venom has to take on Spidey in the end.
Yeah,
that shit. Like I looked at that gameplay, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
for a video game,
Venom
like this is the only thing that Sony gets right.
Venom be popping out them wings, and be flying.
Bro, look, this is the thing. From the comics, because the whole Venom with wings thing, of course, is from the comics first, than anything. And I know we don't want to get into the symbiote mythology, and I've read those books as well, but I don't even want to be fucking far-fetched and say it. But Venom's mythology of the symbiote and where it's carried and how cosmic it is, and the origin for it going back to Null and the King in Black storyline, that shit is nuts.
Yeah.
Or if you want to twist, you have Venom take over Craven and have a super Venom.
It's too much. It's too much.
That's a lot.
That is too much.
Dave, I was with you. But that's OP to be goddamn. I know Spider-Man pulls his punches.
That's not even right.
Idris Elba, that's hot wings.
Yeah. That was a homicide wing.
Actually, if Sony was able to make good films, they could take Venom, Craven, Morbius, even though I would root against having Morbius in it. The Vulture.
I would root against that too.
And a couple other villains, and maybe they get with another multiversal Doc Octopus. Get another Doc Ock, and maybe
the one from the Miles universe, the female.
Just anyone, just not
Alfred
Molina. Like he deserves to be his own entity, but maybe get another Doc Ock from one of those universes. And he understands how to travel through the multiverse, and you can bring a Sinister Six to the MCU in like a Spider-Man 5 or
you could.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we never got all these Spider-Man movies. We never got a Sinister Six movie,
which I've been waiting for forever. But they got close to it with No Way Home, but it wasn't really that much, right? Because by the time they got everybody together, like they ended up having 6 villains in the movie, technically, because Mysterio was just there on video in the beginning. So That's one. And then you had the 5, the villains that from the multiverse. But by the time those 5 got together, like Sandman just wanted to go home. He wasn't really trying to be a villain.
He just wanted to be with his kids.
Yeah.
He just wanted to go home to his daughter. I don't even want to be here.
They fixed Dr. Octopus right before Green Goblin went Green Goblin. So it was true. Yeah, they could have had the Sinister Six, but it was really like a treacherous 3 or something. Like it was really just Electro, Green Goblin, and the Lizard, because the Lizard was just on some bullshit. Like he wasn't being remorseful or nothing. Sandman and then Doc Ock was just on some cool shit. So it was really like 3 villains.
There's still more villains out there though. Bro, they haven't done Mr. Negative.
No, there's so many. It's so many.
Even though they alluded to Mr. Negative.
Yeah. They haven't done Tombstone.
Haven't done Tombstone. Haven't done
Tombstone. There's so many. His gallery's fucking nuts.
Hydro Man. Freaking
right there, Chameleon.
Yeah, oh my god, Chameleon. The fact that's right there, right off the bat. The fact they haven't done the Chameleon yet is crazy. Because he can cause a lot of problems with his disguise abilities. I mean, there's so many villains. That's why I'm saying, like, we don't need another Green Goblin. Like,
I think the Mr. Negative one also makes sense because of the money aspect. And how rich he is. You know what I'm saying? The resources that this motherfucker has, and he can fucking fight. That's the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like homie can get down. But put Andres back up again.
Right.
Yeah, Andre, I don't know if you saw that trailer, but we did. And
I don't like it.
If we're going to continue to have the Sonyverse where whatever animal bites you, you become that fucking power? No. It already doesn't make sense. And I think Haas alluded to it on another podcast. It was like, if we see Craven with an American accent, it's already in the trash.
He has an American accent. Like, that's...
How does the father
I need homie from Moscow, but he spends his time in Siberia. Like,
yeah, but our Craven is from Columbus, Ohio.
That hangs out at the local YMCA,
which is horrible.
I can't have
got Russell Crowe as his damn daddy
with the local Boys and Girls Club. Like, I just can't deal with that. I'm not happy about the Craven movie at all.
I don't watch too many regular videos.
I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, you have to turn into something.
He just looks too soft. Like, he's too soft. Like, Craven has distinct black hair. Number one, distinct,
bro.
Like
one particular person,
hair. Like, just black, like darkness is like dumb black, right? He just seems too soft. He doesn't seem menacing. Craven is menacing.
Especially if you're a person that played the PlayStation, like you played Amazing Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation, it gets deaded real quick once you played that to watch.
Like he's in the jungle just murking people.
Look, like this is who should have played motherfucking Craven. Yuri Boyka, Scott Adkins. He already plays a Russian. He looks like fucking Craven. He should have been goddamn
and he would have been menacing. He'd have been menacing.
Even better.
And the fight choreography would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, I just don't I don't understand what Sony like. They
even better.
They just be shit in the bed when it comes to these castings. I don't get it.
This is who should have played Craven. Let's go ahead and get right to it. That's that good old Jonathan Majors. He's on a comeback.
Oh my God, Jesus
nah, Christ. Man. Why are you wasting my time?
Excuse me, Coretta. Have you ever had a black Russian?
Like,
get there.
Let that man collect his unemployment, man. Leave him alone.
Yeah, yo, for real, man. Like let him live at home. That's right. Scott Adkins can do all his motherfucking stunts. Keanu Reeves. I don't know about Keanu.
I mean,
fucking Craven Wick.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. He couldn't be Craven because he's Keanu Reeves. Like, he has to be somebody.
He's Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
He's Ghost Rider.
I can deal with that.
He's Ghost Rider. Could you imagine?
But to see him as Craven,
fucking
nah.
Craven
But
with
he couldn't be Nicolas Cage.
What
about Nicolas Cage?
Wait,
why are we bringing up?
I got something for that. I got something for that.
No, you don't. You better not. There it is.
Nicholas,
all right, I thought you were going to show Nicolas Cage. Those
oh yeah.
Those movies.
Back up PG man he did in the Flash with the chest hair.
Come on.
Nick
his Superman is weird.
His Superman is fucking nuts up.
I mean, that movie,
Tim Burton Superman.
If that movie was ever going to come out, that movie would have been super trash. Like, oh my god, the story, the actual story that they were gonna trash.
They were gonna make like a dark ass Superman fucking movie, yo. It wasn't gonna
trash.
Because I'm thinking of is any Tim Burton movie ever optimistic? No.
Yo, trash.
Yeah, Nick Cage, yes.
Trash.
Stop,
like,
Greg.
And mind you, that
That's
movie
right.
was gonna come out in the 90s. Super cheesy.
Chris Rock was gonna be Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, trash.
No,
there's a lot of people catching straight.
Trash.
You gotta catch Superman.
Jimmy Olsen is a corny character to begin with. That's why I did love when they killed him off.
Stop, man. Leave Jimmy alone.
Them killing him off in Batman vs Superman was one of the best things that happened to that movie. Just killing him right off.
Stop.
Sorry.
It's okay, Lois.
Spider-Man.
It's all right.
I had to drop that
right
one. My apologies.
It's all right, Lois.
Oh my god.
It's all right, Lois.
Lois, you can go on without me.
She did not.
Spider-Man,
she didn't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That in the 90s, not like now with better technology with CGI. Like in the 90s, a giant spider.
That was gonna be the villain.
Trash.
Yeah.
You talking about the Wild Wild West?
But
well,
why?
No. That's another horrible movie. Just cut that out.
The steering wheel. I'm driving.
I'm starting to reevaluate Will Smith's acting career.
That's another topic, huh?
Yeah, this is a good one, man. It seems supremely overrated.
Yeah, Wild Wild West, Gemini Man. Gemini Man was whack.
After Earth.
I did like
that the slave movie. What was it? Renaissance, the one he just did for Apple TV. Oh man, Will Smith is a slave. Oh, God.
You guys over here.
Yeah, I'm not.
You should try to get that.
Did you hear about the comment?
Did you guys hear about the Kevin Smith story about Superman? If not, you should. No, I don't remember that.
We'll look that up.
Yeah. Thank you, Dre.
We'll peep it out.
Yes, I normally do. You're right, my man. I appreciate you.
So now we've hit the portion where we take our comments from our IG viewers out there who have left comments for us to talk about and revel in the fact that we disdain in their glory, or better yet, we live in the glory of their disdain.
I'm so excited.
Hit them, whorehead.
Here we go. First response. If the next villain for the upcoming Spider-Man says
Kathleen Kennedy.
Stop. She kills Star Wars. She does not kill the MCU. That woman is a terror.
Next comment.
Straight up. Good God Almighty. Long live John Favreau.
Next comment.
Who should be the next villain for Spider-Man?
Okay, but what if Toby just says no? Says no to what?
Tom. It doesn't matter. Next question.
Oh, Tom. Tom can't say no.
Yeah.
He's on
all right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And next villain is.
Oh.
Hey.
No, he needs to stay in the Spider-Verse.
That's your multiversal dude right there.
He needs to stay in the Spider-Verse.
That's who you want.
Spider-Verse.
He's perfect right where he's at. Don't mess him up. Next.
All right, next comment. Who should be the next villain?
Ned Leeds.
Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin. I did a long rant about it on Reddit. Now, look, we brought that up, and that makes sense because now we're at the point where Ned is strictly at the point where he doesn't even know who Peter is. So he can literally have a villain arc all his own. So that could actually make sense. Yes.
And I'm gonna piggyback off you. Remember, we said you brought up the Green Goblin. We don't need him if we have the Hobgoblin, right? We don't need him.
You know what? Your puns are absolutely on point today. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Give Haas a little. There you go, Haas.
We wouldn't need him.
We'll need Green Goblin if we have Hobgoblin, my brother.
Yeah,
my boy Hornet. Okay,
and all jokes aside, it makes sense because remember the animated series, like when Green Goblin wasn't Green Goblin.
Yes.
There was a lot of Hobgoblin, like in the animated series in the 90s.
There was a whole lot of that, and the thing is,
a lot of that. And I know
Green Goblin is a Sony
too.
property. Hobgoblin could be an MCU property. Could be.
Yeah. Telling you, there's a way around all this shit.
I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening, Sony and MCU. I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah.
No, not Sony. We don't want them to listen.
Well,
Shut the door.
No, yeah, MCU.
Sorry, you're not invited.
All right,
next one there, Hizzle. Spider-Man 4 is going to be street level, so I'd say Fisk or Craven. Scorpion as a backup villain can be cool since he was in Homecoming.
I agree with him.
Shoot Craven out there, motherfucker. I like the Fisk Scorpion backup villain. I like that.
Yeah, I agree with him. And if it was Craven, it had to be one of the Cravens that was actually a Craven, not this bullshit that we're gonna get.
Can the MCU make their Can the MCU make their own Craven that wasn't bit by a lion?
I mean, they can if Sony allows it. Like an actual Craven, the Craven that we deserve.
That's right.
I promise you, they're listening. Somebody better be
someone with long.
Maybe they have an intern watching this shit. Who knows?
Right. All right. Here we go. Next one.
Learn Russian. In the first movie, they hinted at Scorpion. It would be cool if they actually do something like that. Absolutely, we're right with you on that. But use him in a supporting role with another lead villain.
Do not make him.
He can't be the main. He can't be the main villain.
He can't be the main guy. Cannot be the main guy.
He was already annoying to be in the animated.
What you got?
Like, don't.
All right, next one.
Yeah, that's
my mom. She was a villain to me when I was young. She has the powers of that.
Look at that. See,
that part.
So if we're talking about
this disrespectful born in 2000. You know what I'm saying?
If we're talking about my mom.
I bet you my mom could whoop Spider-Man's ass.
Is enough power that can take out Spider-Man.
You fucking right. I bet my mom could whoop Spider-Man's ass. How about that?
Yeah, going out.
Week.
Last comment. But in all seriousness, I would love to see a Chameleon story just before Secret Wars 2, and we could have Spidey making jokes about. I just dealt with this. There you go, Haas. You called that out.
Yeah. I would
look. Who brought that up? Dave brought that up. Yeah, look. It's funny that hasn't came up.
Yeah.
Listen. We could take a storyline right from the comics, right from the early Spider-Man days. Chameleon can frame Spider-Man, right, with his disguise. Frame Spider-Man, and now we got another situation. I would say that could be a Spider-Man 5 situation where Spider-Man, you give Spider-Man a movie to get the people to like him again, right? And then take that shit away by Chameleon framing him all over the city, right? So that could be a Spider-Man.
I'm about to say, but hasn't Spider-Man been framed already? Mysterio got his ass.
Mysterio got.
That's what I'm saying. But now it's a different time. Like you can still do that story role like this, and this time actually play it out because he was only framed for 5 minutes of the next movie. Like he was only framed.
He got rid of the Doctor Strange's office, and he was like, "Hey, I can fix that shit for you. Hold up, I got you."
Yeah, they handled that storyline. By the time Matt Murdock caught that brick, that storyline was over. First 7 minutes into the movie. Right.
Ooh, man,
so what I'm saying is, so we can dip and dive a whole movie where Spider-Man is fighting against the public.
Nobody remembers he was framed. I remember.
Our mom was
framed raid on Spider-Man.
Yo, word.
Look what you made me do.
That's a good one, yo. Damn, that's a good one. It's great.
Yeah. But look, all in the end, I mean, we haven't even necessarily even gotten an announcement about Spider-Man 4. So pretty much all the lead up to this is due to the fact that, you know, we're looking more so into the future as seeing exactly if they even want to do this or not. But how long ago was No Way Home? Was that 2020?
Yeah, 2021. December 2021.
2021.
December 2021.
So this is almost 3 years after the fact.
Yeah,
they haven't alluded to anything
like,
that would.
We're literally a little over 2 years, little over, because that came out in December of 2021. So we're a little over 2 years.
We're probably like looking at the fact that if they're trying to like introduce the X-Men at the same time as Spider-Man 4, it's if that's going to be the thing that like carries us all the way. But the thing is, Toby only is under contract for one more film.
Yeah, and so right now it has to be. Right now it has to be Secret Wars.
Yeah, they got to re-up after this shit. Like that's the only way you're going to basically invite them into this.
So wait, did we establish who we wanted individually? Who we wanted villain to be for Spider-Man?
That was going to be my last question. Question.
Yeah, because I figured that's what the show was.
So who you got? Nah, so who you got?
Me. Who me?
Yes.
Did you say me?
Yes.
Definitely Kingpin. It has to be Kingpin. Like, ride that wave right now while we got Daredevil Born Again coming. You got to ride that Wilson Fisk wave. He's going.
Phone call.
Oh, yeah. Lost his volume.
Yeah.
Lost your volume, Haas. Your volume is out.
Let's go with that.
Okay. We lost.
Right.
Yeah. Great.
Who you got, Ralph?
Great.
I'm gonna probably stick with the Wilson Fisk Kingpin route as well too. I think that would probably make the most sense right now. But I'm gonna still push the whole Scorpion supportive role thing.
Yeah. Who do you agree with, Ralph?
I am going to go with the buy-in on Venom with a female support of Black Cat as the hoe in the whole storyline.
Bruh,
I feel it's
that was
not.
That was so left. I was not waiting for that.
Has to happen.
Are you just going for shock value?
I am. You goddamn right, man. He's getting older, man. Tom is growing as a young man, and he needs to sow his royal oats like Prince Akeem and Coming to America.
Oh my god!
And the only way to do so is to bring Black Cat into this whole motherfucking mess. I don't care if MJ's back; she could swoop right on in and then nurture this young man to where he can grow as an adult and do things. Peter has his needs. Thank you, Dave. Dave is said Peter has his needs. Read that man's quote again. Peter has his needs.
Spider-Man. You want Spider-Man 4 to be Venom and Black Cat as the villains.
Fucking right.
No one mentioned the Shocker.
No,
we had the Shocker.
Because remember, do you remember the Shockers in the MCU?
2 Shockers.
There was multiple Shockers. There was like 6 of them.
2 Shockers.
Yeah, but it's good.
For petty shit.
Thank you, Dave. His Peter. Look, thank you, Dave. Dave said it again. His Peter tingle. See that? See?
Oh my god.
Look, we've grown. Look, you don't get it. We've grown with the character. We've grown with the character. So
do you bring Tom Hardy as
right
Venom?
Because of his adolescence and what he's getting into now? You know what I'm saying? You bring in a good Black Cat figure, good old thicker thing. You know what I'm saying?
But do you bring Tom Hardy back?
Oh,
yes.
Shit.
Yes.
You
as Venom? Yes.
Okay, so you mean to tell me they gonna skip over Tom Hardy?
Listen. It's already everything's already established. It's a multiverse. They can have another Tom Hardy in that same universe. It's Eddie Brock. He doesn't even have to work in San Francisco. He can work in New York because it's the multiverse.
But here's the other thing.
Really work at the Daily Bugle like he's supposed to.
Look, if Tom Hardy is in the Sonyverse as Venom, you can literally Flash Thompson your way into the MCU with Venom.
You can do Flash Thompson, yeah.
You could do Flash Thompson.
You can do Flash Thompson because he's a Venom too.
Yep. There's a bunch of these motherfuckers out here. I say Venom with thick old black cat.
Listen.
You got it. Here he goes.
And then he can soul his royals. She can be a hoe. And
this is not what though. This is a PG.
I need my Spider-Man loose. I need him loose.
Pause.
I don't need him tense. I need him loose.
What?
No, you don't. Stop.
What?
I need him loose.
No, you're saying it too much. Pause.
All that not too sure of himself. He has to get rid of that. Get all that shit off his back. Give him some black cat in his life. One thing a spider needs is a cat.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know, but he does, but it doesn't.
It does.
Really good. Wild.
Oh
my god,
it just goes wild.
That's right. The symbiote piece was left, just like you said, Haas, was left in the MCU, so the MCU Venom can be anyone. Boom.
He shouldn't though. I want him to be Eddie Brock or Flash Thompson.
It can happen.
But or it could be he's going to get that suit before Secret Wars. They're going to have some counter.
Look, it might even be to the point of the fact that the symbiote doesn't even hit anybody to make Venom. Maybe it's just there for Peter to pick up, and that's basically what we're alluding to.
Well, let's be real. Like, it should hit Peter first.
Yes.
And that gives credibility for when Tom Hardy was briefly in the MCU for a couple minutes. He saw that TV screen, he licked the screen. So that symbiote is probably searching for Peter Parker and not interested in connecting with anybody else. This has to happen.
It's
they gotta pay it off.
They all think the same.
Yeah, that's right. Hive mind. So we know we
who you got, Jorge? I know you got an opinion in this shit.
Nah, yeah, fucking, I agree.
What?
Why is this playing for the past 5 minutes? That's what I don't understand. What is happening?
What?
What's playing?
The sound. I keep hearing the sound. Y'all don't hear it?
No.
I guess I don't hear it on my side. So that oh man, I don't know how they explain it. The sound that
tell the motherfuckers outside to turn down the volume.
Listening to light skin music
playing over and over again. And I guess I'm the only one that
has.
Does he
still have his light skin music playing?
No, he just has. I'm telling you, I gotta record this shit. Like, this shit is crazy. Hold on, man. I'm a screen record this shit. Hold on a second. I'm a screen record it and then I'll send it in the chat.
Look, he said, Jorge playing GTA 5 on the low.
Bugging right now. Like, it's still playing.
You have to be.
Like, I'm gonna send it in the chat. Like, this shit
it's got to be your computer because we don't hear it at all.
This is why the multiverse is so crazy. Like, I'm getting glitches in the Matrix right now.
Light skin.
Look, that's our show. Everybody can check us out on the Party Nerds podcast on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. Right now, Haz's ears are ringing. I don't know why. But feel free to leave any type of IG comments for any show that we have every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on all of your social platforms. So for myself, Facts, Haas, Ralphie, who's dying,
my hair out.
Party Nerds go. Peace.
Party Nerds.